The question I was interested in researching was, what characteristics of animals does the ASPCA Humane Society emphasize in advertisements towards adoption and donation? To approach this question, I hypothesize that the ASPCA will focus on animals in vulnerable situations and attempting to engage in personally with the viewer. To test this idea, I found several images that the organization has produced as internet click ads, as well as screenshots from some of their iconically emotional video promotions. To begin my coding process, I looked through all the images I chose and identified themes I observed from the imagery. The themes that seemed to be most common throughout the images were feelings of vulnerability, helplessness, and abandonment, all which highlight the animal's needs for outside assistance. Once I established the themes, I decided on the variables that best captured the idea throughout the images. The most common elements I coded for were depictions of animals with a hunched body posture, with injuries, in abandoned locations, behind a cage, alone, or making eye contact with the camera, and for images containing direct information on how the viewer can help. To keep track of my data, I listed all the variables present in each image alongside the image, then added the number of times each variable was observed in an image. I predicted the eye contact from animals will be especially common because it establishes a direct personal call for help and because the eyes are a good relator of emotion. Information on how to take action will also be particularly important because it makes acting on the elicited emotions very easy. The dirt and abandonment surrounding the dog in image 1 elicits a sense of sympathy in the viewer. The theme of helplessness is particularly emphasized by the eye contact and laid-back ears in submission. Similarly, the lack of comfort surrounding the dog in image 2 is trying to elicit sympathy from the viewer by stimulating the theme of abandonment. Image 3 portrays a dog making eye contact from behind a cage. The cage violates the viewer's schema of the appropriate environment for a dog, urging people to take action to rectify the situation. The dog in image 4 is shown in a hunched position, alone, and in an abandoned location, all again adding to the theme of helplessness. These themes are common throughout all of the images. Image 5 shows hunched posture as well, abandoned location, and alone. Image 6 shows hunched posture, abandoned, alone, eye contact, and how to help. Image 7 shows abandoned location, hunched posture, injury, and alone, and how to help. Image 8 shows abandoned location, behind a cage, eye contact, alone, hunched posture, and how to help. Image 9 shows eye contact. Image 10 shows eye contact and behind a cage. Image 11 shows eye contact behind a cage and how to help. Image 12 shows eye contact behind a cage and how to help. Image 13 shows behind a cage and how to help. Image 14 shows eye contact. Image 15 shows behind a cage, eye contact, and how to help. And finally, image 16 shows eye contact behind a cage and how to help. Because there are so many of these variables in each image, the resulting theme from the images is quite strong. After compiling the data from all the images, I put the information into a bar graph to compare the frequencies of each stated variable. As I predicted, using eye contact and relaying information on how to take action were the elements seen in the most images from my sample. Surprisingly, depictions of injured animals was only in one image. This could be because graphic images disturb viewers and avert them from continuing to look at the advertisements, leading to a lack of action. Overall, all of the variables I coded for had a significant presence in my sample, showing that the ASPCA deems them effective towards achieving their advertisement goal. The percentages of each variable are relatively evenly distributed, showing the importance of each. In fact, the validity of these elements towards eliciting these feelings of compassion can be seen by the huge profits airing the advertisements have brought in to the company. After airing the original video advertisement on national television in 2007 featuring Sarah McLachlan, the ASPCA has earned $30 million in donations. Sociological concepts can help improve our understanding of why these elements have been so successful. Channel factors are elements that significantly influence action, either positively or negatively, in this case causing people to donate money. The channel factors in these advertisements is the direct information on how to help. These instructions turn the abstract idea of animal abuse into a concrete path of action, making individuals much more likely to follow through. The ads that ASPCA is airing also bring awareness to the issue of animal abuse, particularly because, as proven by the R. Luke and Luke study in 1970, animal rights issues tend to be largely ignored. The study found that 5% of the 268 cases of animal abuse during that year were publicized, and only 10% of those were actually sentenced. By publicizing the reality of the plight of many animals, it makes the issue much more real to people and more prone to response. Sociologist Nathan Snyder states that with the lessening of profoundly categorical and corporate social distinctions, compassion becomes more extensive. As the boundaries between humans and animals are broken down through this kind of exposure, the compassion we have for our furry friends increases.